Hey, everybody. Good to see you all. I am here with Dr. Tanya Paynter, who is a naturopath, and we normally have point counterpoint discussions so we can explore topics from the MD/ND perspective. But we're in such agreement on this. We don't even have opposing opinions to bring to you
Yeah.
today. So
No, there's not. There's no opposing
there will be
opinions.
no rotten tomato throwing today. I think, and mainly, we just want you guys to know about something that's going on out there in the world that impacts the health of all of us, and that's super easy to avoid. So I'm going to ask Dr. P to start with a little story for you about what's going on.
Yeah. So I went to med school with one of my very, very close friends. We graduated together, and she moved on to create her own line of supplements. And one of her biggest areas that she sells is, obviously she's mainly an online distributor. And so she sells on various different platforms. And I'm assuming that anybody listening without naming names can tell one of the biggest ones that she is on, right? Can we say it? Do you think we can say it?
I
Dr.
think,
B?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she sells on Amazon, right? I think a lot of people go to buy supplements on Amazon. And over the last 10 years that she's been doing this, I can't tell you the number of times that she has had to go after people who have stolen her bottles, stolen her labels, come up with whoever knows what's in the supplements. She says it's definitely not hers. She's actually had it tested in a lab to see if it was, and it's not even anywhere near what hers is, or sometimes doesn't even have any of the supplemental ingredient that it claims to be selling. So that was one of the first times that I was really perking up about, where are people getting supplements from? And I know supplements can be so expensive. And so, we're looking for looking for the best deal. Yeah. And so, Amazon is usually the one that has that best deal, right? I mean, they're very competitive, super convenient.
Yeah.
I think we have to use them. So that just really kind of raised some red flags. And then I think it was back in 2013, there was a retired FDA agent who was actually talking about all of the cases. And in some cases, like there were poisonous things like heavy metals and other toxins that were in some of the supplements he was investigating that was being sold online. And so this is something that I have become very unwavering about, is knowing where you're getting your supplements from, the quality of the supplements, and we'll kind of talk about a few different ways to safely purchase supplements online.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is a really, really important point. The supplement industry is not regulated. Prescription drugs are regulated. Even if you get a generic, whatever it says on the bottle is what's in those pills. There are massive consequences in the prescription drug world for selling something that isn't what it says. Now, for generics, you can vary a little bit on quantity. So like for a brand name, if it says 100 milligrams of X drug, it has to be 100 milligrams of X drug. In the generic world, it can be 80 milligrams of X drug, or it can be 120 milligrams of X drug. They allow a little bit more leeway in terms of how much is actually in that pill. For some things, it doesn't matter. For some things, it does. So there's a little bit of fudge factor involved for the generic manufacturers there. They don't have to be quite as precise, but it still has to contain some of what it says on the label. So that is not the case for people who sell supplements. So there are a couple of things that really matter here. Number one, you want to make sure that whatever supplement provider, whatever company you're going with, they have to be third-party tested. Now, what that means is a whole separate other company comes in and looks at your pill of drug X and says, okay, yep, that actually has drug X in it, or it doesn't. Now, this became a serious issue for Amazon about a year ago. In March 2021, there's a class action lawsuit filed against Amazon for selling supplements that were not what was said on the label. So it was glucosamine, which is commonly used in arthritis. And another company came in and bought this fake glucosamine and did third-party testing on it. There wasn't any in it at all. None. So it's not even like the generic versus brand thing where maybe the quantity is a little off. There was none. They were selling sugar pills for, $30 or $50 a bottle or whatever. So I think it's, and it's not, I mean, I think it's hard for Amazon to really handle that issue, right? I'm sure they trust their people. I'm just saying you know, wherever you get your supplements, they need to be third-party tested, because otherwise you're not getting what you're paying for. Really good chance you're not getting what you're paying for. Do you have any other tips for people about how to handle this problem?
Yeah, so there's a lot of online stores that are dedicated to physician controlled or physician grade supplements that are third party tested, and we can talk about that in a second too. But one of the things, you know, if it's one of those things where it's like, you know, some of us are stubborn about where we shop and how we shop, and if you're like, yeah, the convenient factor just over, like I'm willing to risk it. The one thing that I will say is if you are going to continue to purchase on Amazon, there's a way that you can check who the seller of that supplement is. And it absolutely should be sold by the company who has made it. So if you like go to buy, say, I don't know, Beta Plus is one, it's a bile salt supplement to help with digestion. That's just what came to mind. It's made by Biotics Research. You can go on Amazon, you can probably find it. When you look at who is selling it, it should be sold by Biotics Research. It should not be sold by Bob's Bargain Supplements or some other, you know, some other thing. And so that would be the only way that I would think that it would be okay, because then you know that the company who is actually making the supplement is the one who is selling it, and there will not be a counterfeit one.
Yeah, really, really good point. Yeah, exactly. It's coming from the manufacturer, just kind of by way of Amazon,
Right.
then you can trust that a lot more. Yeah, really good tip. It really is a buyer beware kind of
Yeah.
situation. So, you know,
Well,
Dr.
and
P and I, go ahead.
oh, sorry. I was just going to say too, the other thing that we didn't really mention, but is really important, is that not all supplements are created equal, right? There's like the cheap ones that use kind of bottom grade quality stuff. There's some with dyes and other, you know, other stabilizers and things in there that really aren't great for you. So when we're talking supplements, and Dr. B and I use them therapeutically to help with healing, then they should actually be clear of all those things. They shouldn't have a lot of those common allergens like, you know, dairy or gluten or soy. You know, they should be made fairly clean. They should be fairly anti-inflammatory. And so really making sure that you're buying a quality supplement. And again, those are going to be more expensive, but those are going to be the ones that have been tested, that have been run through, the ones that doctors trust. And there's a whole bunch of really quality supplements out there that are made specifically for doctors to prescribe to patients. So those are the ones you're going to want to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I hope this information helps you guys. I want to make sure that everybody out there is actually getting what they pay for. Because, you know, I'm sure you see this too. A lot of people come in, yeah, I tried such and such a supplement. It didn't help at all. And in
Yep.
the back of your mind, you're always thinking, where are you even getting it? Where did you get
Yeah.
it? How much were you taking? What
Unfortunately.
formulation? What was it? You know?
Yep.
So, yeah, I hope that helps you guys to make really, really good educated decisions.
Yeah, it's so important. So if you guys have any questions about where you can go to buy quality supplements, I'm going to put a link below this video to my personal full script site is the dispensary that I use. So it's an online dispensary. They're only the quality controlled physician grade supplements that we've been talking about today. So you can go in there and kind of take a look, see at some of the more common brands that are utilized by the physicians. So it's carried by Full Script. There's a few of these other types of dispensaries available online. You can get to them through your doctor or through somebody's link. So I'm going to provide that to you guys you know, below, so that you guys can click on that and just kind of take a look at some of the different options there. I'll also give you guys some access to some of the protocols that I use. I think there's a detox protocol in there, a few of the most common research-backed migraine supplement support in there as well for you to take a look at. So certainly you can feel free to sign up using my link, or if there's a doctor that you go to that also has an online dispensary, then you can definitely use that.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. P. Good to see
So you
you.
too.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. Drop a note in the chat if you have any questions about any of this. Okay. Bye, everybody.